What if we told you that there's a voice inside your head right now that's been sabotaging your dreams, crushing your confidence, and keeping you stuck in patterns that don't serve you? And what if we also told you that by the end of this video, you'll have the exact tools to not just silence the voice, but transform it into your greatest ally? Stay tuned, because we're going to reveal something that could change everything about how you see yourself. We've all been there, standing in front of a mirror, replaying that presentation we just gave, or scrolling through social media, feeling like everyone else has it all figured out except us. That voice telling us we're not good enough, smart enough, or worthy enough, that's your inner critic. And today we're going to show you exactly how to take back control. But first, let's understand what we're really dealing with. You know that voice, the one that pipes up right after you hit send on that important email whispering, "Did you sound stupid?" Or the one that shows up when you're about to try something new saying, "Who are you kidding? You'll just fail like always." This is your inner critic, and it's not just being mean for the sake of it. This voice often has deep roots. Maybe it started with a teacher who made you feel small, parents who meant well but set impossibly high standards, or that group of kids who made you believe you weren't worth including. Society doesn't help either, constantly showing us what we should look like, how much we should earn, who we should be. Here's what's fascinating. Your inner critic actually thinks it's protecting you. It's trying to keep you safe from rejection, failure, and pain. But here's the problem. It's also keeping you safe from success, joy, and the life you actually want to live. We see this play out in so many ways. Maybe you procrastinate on that project because it won't be perfect anyway. Maybe you don't apply for that dream job because they'd never pick someone like me. Or maybe you stay quiet in meetings because everyone will think my ideas are stupid. But here's what we're going to reveal later in this video. There's a specific technique that can literally rewire how you respond to these thoughts, and it takes less than 2 minutes to master. Now, before we can tame this voice, we need to catch it in action. Your inner critic has favorite phrases. We bet you'll recognize some of these. "You're so stupid. You'll never amount to anything. Everyone else is better than you. You don't deserve this." Or our personal favorite, "Who do you think you are?" Pay attention to when these thoughts show up. Is it right before you're about to take a risk? When you're comparing yourself to others? After you make a mistake? Your inner critic has patterns, and once you spot them, you're already halfway to freedom. But here's what most people don't realize, and this is crucial to the solution we're going to share. Your inner critic isn't just affecting your mood, it's literally rewiring your brain, creating neural pathways that make negativity your default setting. Now, the good news? We can create new pathways just as easily, and we're going to show you exactly how in just a few minutes. The impact of letting this voice run wild is real. We're talking missed promotions, relationships that never start, dreams that stay dreams, and a constant undercurrent of anxiety that makes you feel like you're never quite enough. But what if we told you that some of the most successful people we know used to struggle with this exact same voice? Here's where things get interesting. We're about to share 3 game-changing strategies that have helped thousands of people transform their relationship with their inner critic. But first, let's talk about why most advice doesn't work. Most people try to fight their inner critic head-on, which is like trying to win an argument with yourself, exhausting and pointless. Instead, we're going to show you how to become a detective with your thoughts. The first strategy? Question everything. When that voice says you're going to embarrass yourself, ask, is that actually true? Where's the evidence? And even if it were true, would it be the end of the world? You'd be amazed how many of these thoughts crumble under simple questioning. But here's the second strategy, and this one might surprise you. Treat yourself like you would your best friend. Seriously. If your friend came to you saying, "I am such an idiot for making that mistake," what would you say? You'd probably offer comfort, perspective, and encouragement. Why do we give ourselves harsher treatment than we give someone we care about? The third strategy involves something called mindfulness, but not the complicated kind. We're talking about creating just a tiny pause between the thought and your reaction to it. Just enough space to say, oh, there's that voice again. Thanks for trying to protect me, but I've got this. But wait, we promised you something specific, something that takes less than 2 minutes and can rewire your brain. We're getting to that. But first, let's talk about the tools that will support this transformation long term. Here are 3 practical tools you can start using today. First, journaling, but not just any journaling. Write down what your inner critic says, then write what you tell a friend in that same situation. You'll start to see patterns and realize how distorted these thoughts really are. Second, positive affirmations, but done right. Instead of generic statements, create affirmations based on evidence. Instead of, I am perfect, try, I am learning and growing every day, or I have overcome challenges before and I can do it again. Third, and this is important, if your inner critic is running your life, don't try to handle this alone. Sometimes we need professional help to untangle years of negative programming, and that's not weakness, that's wisdom. But now, as promised, here's that 2-minute technique that can literally change everything. The technique that changes everything, it's called the thank you next method. And here's exactly how it works. Step 1, when you notice your inner critic speaking up, literally say, thank you for trying to protect me. It may sound a little cheesy and woo-woo, but just try it anyway. Step 2, ask yourself, what would someone who loves me unconditionally say right now? Step 3, choose to act from that place of self-compassion instead of self-criticism. For example, let's say you just gave a presentation and your inner critic says, that was terrible. Everyone thinks you're incompetent. You respond, thank you for trying to protect me from future embarrassment. Someone who loves me would say, you were brave to put yourself out there, and even if it wasn't perfect, you're learning and growing. Studies from Stanford University show that self-compassion actually leads to better performance, more motivation, and greater resilience than self-criticism. Dr. Kristen Neff's research proves that people who practice self-compassion are more likely to take risks, learn from mistakes, and achieve their goals. Here's the science. Every time you practice this technique, you're literally creating new neural pathways. Your brain starts to default to self-compassion instead of self-criticism. Most people see results within 2 weeks of consistent practice. Here's a practical application. Set 3 phone alarms throughout your day with the message, Inner Critic Check-in. When they go off, notice what you've been telling yourself and apply the technique. Another practical application, keep a compassion journal where you write down one instance each day where you choose self-compassion over self-criticism. Another practical application, create a best friend response bank. Write down what you tell your best friend in various difficult situations, then use these responses on yourself. Here's the beautiful truth we want to leave you with. Your inner critic isn't your enemy. It's a part of you that learned to be hyper vigilant to keep you safe. When you transform your inner critic from a harsh judge into a wise, compassionate guide, you unlock levels of confidence, creativity, and joy you never thought possible. Your imperfections aren't bugs in your system. They're features that make you uniquely human and relatable. Some of the most successful, beloved people in the world got there not by being perfect, but by being authentically themselves, flaws and all. The power of self-love isn't just feel-good philosophy, it's practical psychology that leads to real results. When you're your own best friend instead of your own worst enemy, you take more risks, recover faster from setbacks, and show up more fully in every area of your life. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every success story started with someone who decided to try despite their inner critic's protests. And every person you admire has had to learn to silence that same voice you're hearing right now. Your transformation starts today. If this video helped you see your inner critic in a new light, please hit that like button so we know to create more content like this. Subscribe and hit the notification bell because we're building a community of people who choose growth over comfort and self-compassion over self-criticism. In the comments below, tell us, what's one phrase your inner critic loves to use, and what would you tell a friend who said that about themselves? Your sharing might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, share this video with them. Sometimes the best gift we can give someone is permission to be kinder to themselves. We're rooting for you, and we can't wait to see what you create when you finally learn to handle that inner critic for good. As always, thank you so much for spending time with us today. And until next time, breathe deeply, live fully, and thrive.